Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is a yet another top 10 video, and today we're going to talk about my top 5 powders and my top 5 bronzers in my collection. I definitely wanted to narrow it down for you guys so that you know my tippy top best of the best. So without further ado, let's begin. Let's start off with the bronzer collection. I have 2 cream bronzers and I have 3 powder bronzers. Before even I forget, let me talk about what is on my eyes. I am using the Krypton Cosmetics Tulip Dream palette. I feel this is such a beautiful 5-pan eyeshadow palette. I have this all over my crease. I have this on the outer lid. I have this in the center of my eyelid, and I have this in the inner corners. So that's basically what I have on my eyelid, and that's my eye look. Now let's move on to the bronzers. So let's start off with the cream bronzers. 2 cream bronzers that I would absolutely recommend, okay, no matter what. And this is a mix of indie, high-end, drugstore, everything together. The first cream bronzer that I would recommend is from Rare Beauty, and this is the cream bronzer stick, and I have mine in the shade Always Sunny. I use this so much. If you want pigment and if you are more of like a medium tan skin tone, I feel like this is so buildable. It is so effortless on the skin, and you can see how beautifully it blends on the skin too. It leaves the pigment, but also it blends effortlessly on the skin. I absolutely love this shade, especially in the summer season is when I absolutely love this shade on me. And again, this is the shade Always Sunny. I don't think anybody would go wrong with that bronzer just because with the emollient nature that it has. But also keep in mind, this dries down to more of a matte finish. But if you are not a big fan of like drying down to a matte finish, you want it more natural on the skin, the next cream bronzer needs to be in your collection, and this is from LYS Beauty, and this is the No Limits cream bronzer. Mine I have in the shade Harmony. This is such a beautiful product. Now the tone of this, I would say, is lighter than the Rare Beauty one, and for that reason, and it's more cooler. Can you see that? It's more of a neutral bronzer shade. I love to wear this right now, like in the wintry spring time, and it again blends so effortlessly on the skin. Look at that. I really love that tone of the bronzer too. I absolutely love it. Again, very effortless is the word for this for these bronzers. Beautiful product. Okay, now let's move on to the powder products. We have one high-end, one drugstore, and one indie. So let's start off with the high-end category. You would not be surprised by seeing this bronzer because I use it all the time, and it is from Makeup by Mario, and this is the soft sculpt bronzer in the shade Medium Dark. This is how the bronzer looks. Again, it's very beautiful tone. If you use more of a fluffier brush, it can gaze out the product so beautifully. But if you are a little bit more deeper on me, just use more of a denser brush, maybe like this one, and then pat it on the skin, and it is such a beautiful tone of bronzer. I really love it. The quality is so beautiful and effortless on the skin. Very pretty on the skin. The next bronzer that I want to recommend is from an indie brand, and this is from Whatsup Beauty, and this is the Cheek Terre Baked and Pressed Powder Bronzer in the shade 30 Tan. I feel like this is such a beautiful neutral bronze on me. I really love the way how it shows up on my skin. It's very effortless again. None of these have like any shimmer particles or any like glitter that shows up on the skin. This bronzer, when you apply it on your skin, you definitely can see like I won't say glow, I won't say sheen, but it has that naturalness that is coming through, which doesn't seem like you have applied more of like a bronzer product on your skin, but it warms up the skin. Of course, it does warm up the skin, but it beautifully melts into the complexion products, and that's what I love about this product. I really love this tone. Again, this is in the shade number 30, which is tan. And last, certainly not the least, if you want to invest in just one bronzer, that can last you for a long time, but also performs beautifully like a high-end product. But this is from the drugstore. It is such a beautiful bronzer, you guys. And this is from L'Oreal, and this is from the Infallible line. This is in the shade medium 350. Oh, I have used this bronzer so much, but the stone is absolutely beautiful. The powder is so finely milled, and it performs extremely well on the skin too. It's easily blendable. It is pigmented. You can build it up very nicely, but this stone medium is absolutely perfect on me. I really love this bronzer. If I have to recommend one, I would definitely recommend this to you guys. It is an absolute amazing product. Okay, now let's move on to the powders. I have 2 loose powders and 3 pressed powders, and I have an honorable mention if you have. All right, let's start off with an honorable mention because they have changed the formula and I was in love with their older formula, and it is from the Givenchy, and this is the Prism Leap powder, and I have mine in the shade number 4 that looks like this. They have changed the formula, so I'm not very happy about it, but this is the older version of the formula, and this was so beautiful. It just melted the product in the skin. I don't think that I have more finely milled powder in my collection that performs so magically like the one this does. But I do not feel comfortable recommending this right now, but if you have the older version, you know exactly what I feel like. So an honorable mention. And the product that will have absolutely no doubt from you guys, because from the time this is landed in my collection, I have not stopped using this. This is such a beautiful loose setting powder, and I feel like if you have to buy one powder, this is the one. This is from Huda Beauty, and this is my Easy Bake loose setting powder, and this one, mine is in the shade Peach Pie. This is such a beautiful tone of the powder. This is the powder that I'm wearing underneath my eyes, and you can see how blurry my under eyes look, and it's all magic to this powder. It's so finely milled. It is just so beautiful. I often wear this anywhere. If I need like a glam look, I need a smooth under eye, this is exactly the powder that I reach out for. Mine has a little bit of scent. If you are sensitive to scent, they have a version without the scent. I just love that experience of smelling like peach when I apply it, and it doesn't linger around or anything. It's just that initial application is when you get that whiff, but you do have an option of scentless product. Let's move on to another loose setting powder, and this is from drugstore. I've been using this for years now, and this is from Maybelline, and this is the Fit Me powder. Again, from the drugstore, I feel like you cannot go wrong with this. I have mine in the shade number 25. The powder is number 25. I had a little bit of 20 left, and I broke the 25 container, so I just poured it in this, but the container is for number 20, but the powder is 25. Okay, I would say if you compare the Peach Pie powder and the Maybelline 25 powder, the Maybelline 25 powder is definitely more yellowy, and this one is a true peach, so do keep that in mind. And now let's move on to the pressed powders. I feel like if I need all over powder product on my face that gives a decent amount of coverage, that is so smooth on the skin, you cannot go wrong with this. This is from Bare Minerals, and this is the Bare Pro powder. I have mine in the shade 35 medium cool, and this is like my skin tone shade all throughout. Like, I really love this powder so very much. I love to just buff it all across my skin. It gives such a beautiful flawless finish, and it blends so nicely. I absolutely love to apply this with like a round buffing brush and just buff it onto the skin. You just need a little bit, and it performs wonderfully. I would highly recommend this. I feel like this is a bougie product, but I always use this whenever I'm going for special occasion, and this is from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is the Airbrush Flawless Finish, and this one is in the number 2 of, obviously you see a big dent going on, and this I very sparingly use only underneath the eyes, and you totally can see the difference as soon as you pack it underneath the eyes. I generally do use this kind of a brush with this. Just tap it and just press it underneath the eyes, and you'll exactly see how all your pores just vanish away. I really love this. Again, it's a very bougie product, so I use it very sparingly, only underneath the eyes. This is not an all over setting powder for me. It is definitely an under eye setting powder for me. And then this powder definitely shocked me in the way it performs, and this is from Florasis, and this is the Flawless Jade Breathable Pressed Powder, and I have mine in the shade number 2. It's pretty much like a translucent powder. It is like this. It's like a domed baked shape, and I have used this so much. I don't even know if you can see it or not. I basically use the powder and I swipe the product and I tap it underneath my eyes, and you'll again, it's like a pressed version of your Huda Beauty powder. It is so beautiful and weightless underneath the eyes. It's very finely milled. I feel like Florasis shines in their complexion product, and they are very underrated in that department because they're known for their like flawless beautiful eyeshadow palette packaging, but I feel like they have such beautiful complexion products that they're so underrated with, and powders are my absolute favorite from them. I do have their pressed setting powder also, which is more of a foundation shade, but my favorite is this like Jade Breathable Pressed Powder. That's my absolute favorite. But those were my recommendations for powders and bronzers. I really hope that this video was helpful for you guys. If you do have a bronzer or a powder in your collection that you absolutely cannot live without, do sound it down in the comment section below. But that's all for today. If you did like my video, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And ring the notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.